So with the recent reveal of this little preview for both of the Carnival LR banners, I'm sure a lot of players are curious who you should pick up with your Carnival coins, because Carnival banners have been out for a little over a year at this point. So I'm sure a lot of you do have probably around 500 to pick up one unit. So that's exactly what we're going to be going over in today's video, who you should pick up between both of these banners. Now, I was going to wait to do this video until the banners actually released, because there are other featured LRs and then some featured SSRs who we don't know who they are yet, but they are going to be featured on both of these banners. But then I realized that doesn't really matter. The only good units you're probably going to want to buy with the Carnival coins are going to be these main units already shown here. So I figured we could just go ahead and do this video now and let you know before the banners come out, so then when they drop, you can just instantly buy the unit you want. Now, one thing I do want to mention before we get into it, if you're on JP, the banners are slightly different. So you don't have Bulma. I think you've got the Kai Goku on this banner, and then on the other banner, there's not the Carnival LR STR Goku, it's the Gohan. It might be the other way around, the Goku might be on this banner, and then the Gohan might be on this banner, but you've got the 8th year anniversary Carnival LRs instead of the Bulma, and then the Carnival LR Goku. So on JP, the best units you could probably buy would be the 8th year anniversary LRs, the Part 2 LRs. This guy specifically is really good between the two. I would probably buy this guy over the Gohan, but that's not to say the Gohan's bad. He's still a very, very good unit, and both of them are going to provide value for you. But I just wanted to get that out of the way. If you're on JP, these are the best options. Now, if you're on Global, obviously, LR Bulma. I mean, there's really no getting around that. LR Bulma is just insane. Most of you probably figured I was going to talk about her. I mean, yeah, she's arguably the best unit in the game right now. She might be a little bit below the new Carnival LR Gohan, but she's right there. So a very good unit. She's great offensively, good defensively, and she's an amazing support. She has a crazy active skill. The only thing about her that's not good is her leader skill, but I don't really think it's that big of a deal because there's still a lot of other good teams you could run her on. So an amazing unit all around. If you don't have her, you should 100% pick her up. I don't really care about any of the other units on this list. If you don't have Bulma, use your coins to get her. She's definitely the first option you should buy because, again, she's just crazy. And then next up, we do have the Carnival LR STR Goku. So this is actually the first banner this guy's returning on for Global. I thought we were going to get him during Tanabata on the Omega Shenron's banner, but yeah, I guess they decided to just throw him on the, I think it's the Gohan's banner. I just want to double check. Yeah, it is the Gohan's banner. So this guy's really good. If you've got Bulma and you still want to buy a unit, this guy could potentially be a really good option for you. He's a very, very good defensive support for a lot of these like super class teams because he's a Goku. He's on Pure Saiyans, Goku's Family, Super Saiyans, Kamehameha. He's on Turtle School, you know, Earthbred Fighters, Bond of Parent and Child, and he's supporting super class allies. And most of the units you're going to be running alongside him are super class. So then that good of a defensive buff to pretty much your whole team is going to be very, very good. And then once you do build up with him, and then you also have this 30% damage reduction, he's just going to be looking really crazy, especially with all the defense he is getting on super attack effect. And then he does also support attack for 50% for one turn on his 18 key. So if you throw him in slot 1, technically he's supporting the whole rotation for 2 key, and then 50% attack and defense. Yeah, that's really good. And then he does also have the active skill right here. Oh, I didn't even notice this, or I guess I just forgot. He supports all allies for 5 key on his active skill. Dude, this guy's a really good support. And he's also a really good unit. Like I mentioned, he's got the damage reduction. He's got the build up. He's got, you know, the active skill right here, which is really good. All the attack and defense on super. And he's a really good lead for Battle of Wits, just 200% across the board. Battle of Wits isn't the craziest category, but if you have to run this team, having this guy as a lead is going to be very, very beneficial because there are some good specific units like, you know, Orange Piccolo. You've got the Blue Goku and Vegeta that fuse into Vegito. You've got the Z Duo. So there are some solid options. So if you've got to run Battle of Wits, having him would definitely be very useful. So overall, a very good unit. But once again, if you don't have LR Bulma, you should buy her over this Carnival LR Goku. But if you do have Bulma, then buying this guy would be pretty useful. And then next up, we do have another Carnival LR Super Saiyan Goku, but it's the Tech one. So I would say only buy this guy if you've got Bulma. If you've got the Carnival LR STR Goku, then you could probably buy this guy. He's very similar to the 8th year anniversary AGL Goku, the Carnival LR base Goku. You know, he's really good defensively. He's got the revive. He's stacking defense. He's got a good active skill. I mean, he's been out for a while at this point. A lot of you probably have him or at least know what he does. You know, his guard is restricted to being above 60% HP, but it's not that big of a deal because then when you're below that HP threshold, then you can get the revive off with this guy. But unfortunately, revive units are in a bit of a wonky spot right now because you can only get 1 revive off per fight. So then if you're running multiple revive units, then it can get kind of tricky. And revive units are fairly common right now. Of course, we've got the GT Duo, we've got the World Tournament Goku, and then there's a couple other ones, but they're not really great. But, you know, GT Duo, you're running on majority of your superclass teams. So then if you're running this guy with GT Duo, you kind of want to get their revive over this guy. So then it could just get complicated if you're not getting the revive off, because then with the revive, he's getting crit chance, he's getting guaranteed guard. So it is going to be something you're going to want to prioritize. But again, it can be tricky because you might not be able to get the revive. But with him stacking defense and then still having guard when HP is 60% or more, he is still going to have his value. Like I mentioned, his active skill is really good. It disables an enemy's attack. So he's got a lot of good things in his kit. I would just say, depending on what team you're running, you might not want to buy this guy. Because again, if you're running GT Duo a lot and you want to throw this guy on the team with GT Duo, it might be a little tricky because GT Duo's revive is a little bit more important. So definitely a good unit, but only buy him if you already have Bulma and you already have Carnival LR SDR Goku. And then next up, after the Carnival LR Tech Super Saiyan Goku, so Birdku, we do have the Fusion Zamasu. Fusion Zamasu is really good. If you have the new LR Fusion Zamasu, then running this guy on his team will be pretty solid. They don't link up together, which is unfortunate, but if you're running a full Goku Black and Zamasu team, then this guy would be a good addition to that team because then he can link up with some other Zamasus or other Goku Blacks. Yeah, he's a really good defensive unit in slot 2 and 3. You can't really run him in slot 1, so keep that in mind. But after he gets all his additionals off, after he gets all the attack and defense on his super attack effects, after he builds up a little bit of damage reduction, yeah, this guy can look really, really impressive defensively. He's recovering HP, he's got an active skill, he's got a good link set considering who you're running him with. Just a good unit all around, not really much to talk about. And then next up, we do have the AGL Super Buu. Okay, I really don't recommend you get AGL Super Buu. I mean, his teams just kind of suck right now. Like, I don't know what team you're going to be using him on. You might be able to throw him on Worldwide Chaos, but he's not a Big Bad Boss's unit, so you're not really going to be linking up with a lot of these other Zamasu units and stuff like that. I guess Artificial Life Forms he might be somewhat solid on, but it's not really that great of a category. So really, what we're waiting on is an LR Kid Buu. Once we get an LR Kid Buu and he leads, I don't know, Majin Power for 200%, and then we get an Easy A for the Physical Buuhan, we get an Easy A for the Tech Exchange Buu, then this guy will be in a very good spot, because he'll have a lot of good, you know, Majin Buu teams he could be ran on. But for now, because his teams suck, not really the biggest fan of this guy. But once his teams do get better, he's going to be very, very good. He's really good defensively for the first couple turns. If you're facing a Majin Buu Saga or Fuse Fighters category enemy, he can be really good because he has the guaranteed guard. And then, of course, his damage is insane for the first couple turns. I think he does have an extra buff for the first 5 turns, I believe. But yeah, for the first 4 turns, you get 60 and then 120% to stats. So for the first 4 turns, this guy's dropping close to like 20 million attack stats. So that's what I'm saying. If his team gets better, he can be very, very good. But unfortunately right now, his teams kind of suck. You guys know, Dokkan doesn't like extreme class teams. And unfortunately, this is an extreme class unit. So I wouldn't recommend buying him, but I don't know, if you're a really big Super Buu fan, and maybe you've got a lot of hope we're going to get an LR Kid Buu soon, maybe spending your Carnival coins on him wouldn't be the worst idea. And he's a really good World Tournament unit as well. He's got that AoE on his 18 key, and like I mentioned, he's doing a lot of damage for the first couple turns, so he could be pretty useful, I guess, with that. And then next up on the list, we do have the Carnival LR Metal Cooler. Now, you'll notice with this list, I've kind of had like a pattern going on, so we've got an order of who you should buy down to who you probably shouldn't buy. The Super Buu and the Metal Cooler are probably tied. I'd say both of them just kind of need better teams. But the Metal Cooler, unfortunately, he's aged a lot as well. Like, even though he's only been out for a year, he's aged very rapidly. He's got the guaranteed revive, which is really useful. There's absolutely no condition behind it whatsoever. But then after you revive, I don't know, man. This guy's kind of a sitting duck. Like, if you get supered, you're going to get obliterated. He's still one of the best extreme class units in the game, which is saying a lot about the spot extreme class is in right now. Because, again, this guy has aged a lot. But if you really need a good physical spot for your Wicked Bloodline team or your Terrifying Conquerors team, I guess this guy could be pretty useful. I mean, he's on some weak teams. He's on Revenge, he's on Target Goku, Power Absorption, Corroded Body and Mind, which are all pretty bad teams, right? But he's still useful on there. He's one of the best units on there. He still has age, though. I mean, there's really no getting around that. So I probably wouldn't buy him if you really don't need him. But if you desperately need a good physical, you know, extreme class LR for one of your missions or whatever, and you've already got every other unit on this list, I mean, maybe buying him wouldn't be that bad of an idea because he's still a pretty solid unit. It's just he's aged a lot, like I said. So I guess that pretty much has been the video. Just to reiterate, buy Bulma. And then if you already have Bulma, buy the Carnival LR STR Goku. And then if you already have him, buy the Tech Carnival LR Goku. And then if you already have the Goku, buy the Zamasu. And then if you already have the Zamasu, buy one of these guys. I don't want to say Super Buu is better than Metal Cooler. I don't want to say Metal Cooler is better than Super Buu. They're both in a very similar spot right now. So I would say maybe just buy whichever one would help your box more. And then if none of these units help you and you don't really care about Bulma, you don't really care about any of the Carnival LR Gokus or any of that, just save your coins, right? Because we're going to have other Carnival banners down the line that'll have the future Gohan featured, that'll have the Carnival LR Trunks featured, the ones that are going to be releasing tonight. So if you want to save for them, that's definitely a possibility as well. So I guess that pretty much has been the video. Let me know who you're going to be buying with your coins, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.